Okay. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna tell you last time I got up to level 146. So this is where we'll be starting off this time. Yeah, last time I played, I think my problems were stemming from my not getting rid of these top bricks on the left-hand column fast enough, since it didn't allow boxes to fall up down this column. So that's what we'll try to do this time, and I'm sure we'll have more success with this strategy. Yeah. So yesterday, I yesterday I went out for a long walk. It was kind of foolish of me, really, because I walked really far compared to what I've done in the past. The last time I walked out, about a week ago, I I I only walked a mile, and even then I got slight stomach pains from my tiredness and exhaustion, and this time I walked near enough 4 miles in total, I think, and it was all because I wanted to get to the nearby shopping centre. When I say nearby, it's in another part of Warrington where I live, and yeah, I tried to get there on foot at one point. About I'd say about 8 years ago or so, and even back then I couldn't find it, and I was in much better physical shape back then as well. And yet I think I still got blisters on my feet and whatnot from trying to get to it even back then. And yeah, but this time I was a bit more determined to find it, especially with how especially with how I'd looked at the map before. I'd looked at a map beforehand to try and plan how I'd find it beforehand, and yeah, it seemed a bit more confusing when I was actually trying to get there on the day, but I was kind of determined to find it. And yeah, at times still on my journey, I was kind of losing hope as I was taking turns and directions I hadn't really expected to have to make, and I was worried I was going in the wrong direction, especially. Yeah, and I started to feel hopeless at points, thinking I'd probably taken wrong turns and I was on my way away from it, and I was on this secluded passageway, and with railings on both sides, and on one side there was like, there seemed like what was something like maybe a bit of a farm, some farm fields or something. It was hard to say. Couldn't tell whether they were crops or just like weeds or overgrown plants or whatever. But yeah, there was railings blocking the other side of the other side from where I was, and that was separating my pathway from the track, from the nearby train track, which I knew I had to follow in order to get to that shopping centre. And yeah, it was quite a scary, secluded place to walk. As even though it was only daytime as well, and I mean the only people who passed me every now and then were people on bikes as well. So maybe most people in the right mind wouldn't actually walk down there. But then again, I'm not exactly in the right mind, am I? And yeah, so I was relieved when I got to the end of the passageway and saw the shopping centre across the road. When I crossed the overhead bridge on top of the track, and believe me, I was so tired when I got there that I was actually kind of scared trying to climb those stairs inside the building. Inside the building, which kind of made up the bridge over the track, because I kind of stumbled a bit when trying to climb the stairs from my sheer exhaustion, especially with how they seem to have a strangely designed armrest section with beams of wood or metal or whatever that was sticking out diagonally, and so because I couldn't put my full attention into where my hands were going and whatnot, yeah, it was quite easy for me to stumble as I was trying to climb the stairs, and it was scary knowing that underneath me as I was walking up the stairs and then over the bridge, that the track was right under me. And it makes me think it was a really good thing that no trains happened to pass underneath as I was climbing the stairs or passing the bridge, because that really would have disoriented me probably. And yeah, but I had some fun when I actually got to the centre, even though to the shopping centre, even though I was so exhausted that I had to sit down 3 times when I was there, and each time I sat down, I just couldn't get my full amount of energy back, and so I'd only be able to walk a few minutes around the place before I needed to sit down again. Not bad, 3 stars. Let me just turn this off when it comes on. I hope she'll understand if I reply late. Let me just get this the right way as well. Oh, I didn't. My face cam seems to be working. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Oh yes, I got 3 stars on the first 10% of all the levels. On the first 10% of all the on the first 10% of all the levels. Now that's quite an achievement, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, when I was at the centre, like I said, I could only walk around for a few minutes at a time before I needed to sit down. And I was so tired that I was trying to find benches and seats at the centre, and seemed to be fewer of them than I remembered there being the last times I went there in the late 90s, and I started thinking, don't tell me the people at the centre here have cut down on the amount of chairs, like they think that people are somehow in better physical shape than they used to be, because with me that's quite the opposite, isn't it really? But yeah, it just turned out that the benches and seats seem to have been moved more towards the main middle passageway of the place, as opposed to being in this big open space where they used to be. I mean, if you're not familiar with the place I'm talking about, obviously none of what I'm saying is going to make sense to you right now, but it's still good to talk about it, I think. Oh, that was so close. If it had been shooting sideways, I would have done the level just then. Yeah, and anyway, I was so tired when I got there that I was having trouble finding empty benches because of the sheer amount of people there. And in the end, I had to come to this bench where there was a woman sitting, and I had to actually go up to her and ask if she minded if I sit there next to her on the bench because I was so tired. And yeah, she agreed, but makes me think how if it wasn't for my sheer exhaustion making me kind of feel this and whatnot on that occasion, I never would have been able to go up to a woman or a person on a bench like that and ask if I could sit in the spot next to them if they minded, if I could sit in the spot next to them. So really, it's quite amazing how being exhausted makes you feel it in a way, isn't it? Suppose that's good advice for anyone who wants to be fearless. That you need to allow themselves to be exhausted first, so to speak, if that makes any sense. It makes me think of when I used to exhaust myself doing exercise, walking up and down the stairs for like 300 times without any rest. Just over 300 times back in 2007 it was, back when I was trying to my best to get washboard abs. And that was 147, I think, yeah. And I'd get so exhausted doing the stair exercise back then. I'd get really exhausted to the point of delirious thought, really, where I'd start imagining myself dying doing it, and I became I became fearless as I was doing it. Pretty much, I started thinking things like I didn't care if I died while doing it because I'd be thinking at least I died trying to make something of myself, and I saw it as like an honourable way to die, so I didn't really feel fear or anything at the point of training myself, maybe to the point of death. And it helped me realise that that's how people die sometimes from running marathons, isn't it? I mean, these overly fit types think that if they underperform when they're running marathons for charity or whatever, they start worrying that they'll be letting down the people who sponsor them or whatever. And so it makes you think that's probably how they literally run themselves to death sometimes, isn't it? By becoming fearless through the sheer exhaustion that they're feeling on the marathons. And so when you think they probably literally run themselves to death by thinking that it's better to kind of die heroically by trying and failing, by trying and failing to finish the marathon as opposed to throwing in the towel and quitting. I suppose at the end of the day, they want to look like heroes, maybe giving their lives for the cause, so to speak. like being like martyrs in a way, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I had to sit down about 3 separate times when I was at the shopping centre the other day, and and during my first sit down at the place, I was starting to wonder how I'd ever get home because I was so tired and exhausted, and I had that almost 2 mile walk back home again. On those same scary, secluded passageways and outside passageways, and yeah, I was having to sit down on pretty much any improvised seating that I could find on my way back. I was sitting on anything from railings that had pointy tops on them that were painful to sit on, all the way up to the flattest, tallest tree stumps that I could find. Yeah, sometimes I was only walking for like a minute or two before running out of energy and needing to sit down again on my way back. And and it was really hard to make myself get up each time to continue my walk back, but at the same time I wanted to get back before it got dark so that my parents wouldn't get any more worried than I knew they'd be. And but yeah, it felt like the hardest walk I'd ever done in my life, pretty much. But it's all because I was determined to find that shopping centre on foot, and also because I had a terrible doubt in my head that my effort of walking all that way to find it might have resulted in not finding it at all, and so I was pleased that I managed to actually find it anyway. But yeah, when I got home finally, I was sitting around gasping for breath for ages. In fact, there were times when it felt like I might not have ever gotten my breath back, actually, and because I was downstairs sitting gasping for breath for an hour and a half, and then I went upstairs because I knew I'd need to take my shoes off because I had the worst blisters on my feet, and my socks felt all damp and clammy from my exhaustion, and a new fantastic experience that if my damp, clammy socks were able to stick to my blisters, then it would be really painful to get my socks off afterwards. And so when I got up, I watched I watched Dolph Lundgren's Punisher movie on YouTube because I'd felt like doing that for a while, and yeah, for like the first half of that, I was still exhausted and weak, and that was like 45 minutes, and then it was only when the film ended after an hour and a half or so that I felt finally ready to eat me food, but that was 149, I hope. If it wasn't, I guess I'll have to do it another time. I should have looked to see where my position was on the list just then. But yeah, after the hour and a half of the film, I felt finally ready to eat my tea, and that was about maybe 10:15 or so at night. I got home at maybe 6 or so in the evening, and I set off at maybe at 3:45 or so. And yeah, so even when I had my tea, I finally felt like I had the energy to try and get my socks off, thinking that I might need to wash my hands afterwards, but my hands didn't feel all that dirty. But yeah, it was still painful getting my left sock off because that had kind of started to stick to me blister a bit, and now the part of my foot where the blister is, it's all kind of red and looks cut, or maybe like it's got a rash or something. And it's been hurting me at times. It hurts if I brush it against my blanket by accident in bed, or it hurts if it touches anything. So, so I slept with it exposed to the air. I had my TV on when I slept last night as well, so it was quite a cosy feeling after my long, tiring day. But I'm glad I did it overall. I had fun there at the centre. As tired as I was, I never go there again. I I probably won't be quite so exhausted, so I'll probably be better next time. Got a really tickly throat again as well. Must be because of all my activity yesterday. But yeah, despite me exhaustion and giving my body that huge shock and all yesterday, I'm sure I did myself good overall. I mean, me, me abs and my stomach, it started aching while I was out there walking, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and my legs ached pretty much everywhere. Me quadriceps and my calves, possibly my hamstrings as well. Even even my arms were aching when I got back, feeling like I'd done dumbbell curls with my biceps aching and whatnot. So just amazing how walking out kind of exercises every muscle in your body, near enough every muscle in your body, isn't it, really? Although it makes sense that that your stomach and your abdominals would come into effect when you're outside walking, with how your stomach and your abdominals are so essential for keeping you upright, really, aren't they? And I bet my abdominals are really weak with how in recent years I've been the kind of person who just lounges around in bed like like the ultimate couch potato. Yeah, as you can see, I'm in quite bad condition overall. But you know that it's done good. My extensive foray out into the outside world has done me good, and that's how it's probably been a big step on my way to getting fit and getting washboard abs and whatnot. Like I used to be determined to get when I was young, and I'd kill myself with my exercise sessions, and then at the end of them I'd be pretty much collapsing and against collapsing against the windows in the front room as I was standing around talking to my mum and whatnot, and due to being so weak and exhausted after my cardio sessions and whatnot. Suppose, yeah, in a way, I suppose I've always been kind of stupid, haven't I, for, um, for going over the top so fast, learning to, trying to run before I can walk, so to speak. I must have lost a lot of lives on this now. Here we up. Do I manage to? Oh, I haven't done it. So I've only managed to do 4. I've only managed to do 4 levels this time. Yeah, well, it was fun giving you this update and playing and all. And some progress is better than none, isn't it? So, in the meantime, I bid you all farewell. And it's typical that I get this tickle in my throat as I'm playing, because I didn't have this at all yesterday when I got back, or this morning either. Strange things happen sometimes, don't they? Oh well, goodbye, fans, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.